There's one thing that coaches worry about that keeps them up at night, and that's getting clients. It doesn't matter if you're a new coach, just starting your coaching practice, and you don't have any clients yet, or if you are a seasoned coach who has an endless list of clients. Getting clients is a prime focus for coaches. Hi, I'm Karen Keller, psychologist, master certified coach, and creator of the Keller Influence Indicator. And what I'm talking about is something that every coach thinks about and they need, and that's getting more clients. It can be one-on-one clients, it can be the large corporate client, or teams as clients. It doesn't matter what industry you work in or specialize in. What is important is that you need an ongoing funnel of clients that come to you seeking help with whatever is going on in their life, their business, or their relationships. When it comes to getting clients, I know the feeling, the uneasiness, the fear of being rejected, having to say your 30-second elevator speech over and over again. When I started coaching years ago, I had the same fears about how I could get clients interested in coaching, how to help them understand what coaching was all about, and how I would persuade them that they should coach with me. I did everything I could think of. I coached for free. Most of my conversations turned into coaching. I spoke at all the local luncheons, the Chamber of Commerce, the Rotary Club, the Leads groups, you name it. I was on their speaking list, and I did it for free. I offered 3 or 4 different coaching packages for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. I offered great incentives. I took out ads and sponsorships. I customized everything that I could think of, and I gave interviews to anyone who would talk to me. Now, some of these things worked, but it was a constant grind trying to guess what worked best or wondering if I was giving the right person the right offer. It became exhausting. But then I realized that doing these things didn't give me the edge that I was looking for. So many potential clients had tons of questions about what coaching was, how I coached, what they could expect, and so on, that I realized people were afraid to make the commitment to coaching. So I started doing things differently. I had to bring something more or different to the table if my coaching practice was going to survive. And one of the very first things I changed was the way I approached my initial call with the client. After much research and evaluating my past coaching calls and what I was doing wrong, I developed something that would soon become one of the most important parts of my coaching process. I developed and improved my discovery call. When you're having the discovery call, you need to be strategically intentional about how you're going to talk with the client for the very first time. The discovery call can either be something you charge for or offer depending on your business model. Well, I started out by making it a complimentary bonus piece where I only focused on the potential client. Now, why is the discovery call so important? Well, this call is the first impression that you will make on the client and the first impression that the client will make on you. When it comes to speaking with a potential client, we tend to worry about the impression that we make on them, but you also need to think about and take into consideration the impression that they make on you. In the long run, the end benefit that you want as a coach is to have a client that you can work with who respects what you do as a coach and who maintains focus and doesn't expect you to do all the work for them. So to help you get better with your discovery call, you should find the answers to these 3 questions. Number 1, how do I want to feel minutes before I coach a client? Do I get anxious? Am I dreading talking to this client? Do I watch the clock? The second question is, what is the most exciting part about the coaching process? Do you like listening? Are you good at asking thought-provoking questions? Do you get excited about people accomplishing their goals? And the last question that you need to answer is, what needs to happen in the coaching relationship to keep me enthused, excited, interested, and wanting to continue with the coach or the client? What makes you look forward to growing your coaching practice? So take the time to write down your answers to these questions, what you're thinking, what you want, and how you feel about coaching different types of people. Once you have the answers to these 3 questions, you're going to have a greater understanding of if the person is coachable and at the same time if working with this person will keep you engaged. Doing this one exercise lays the foundation for the discovery call. And knowing the answers to these questions will greatly increase your success during the discovery call. Now, as a sideline to this, many coaches confuse the discovery call with the contract call. They're not the same call, and they should be kept separate. The contract call takes place when you need to secure or reach an agreement the contract, what type of coaching the client needs or wants, what the fees will be, what's expected, the times you're going to meet, and how long you'll coach. But the discovery call is where you find out if you can work with the client and get the client to say yes to coaching. Now, there are two things the discovery call does for you. Number one, it establishes a good fit. And number two, it gets the client excited about working with you. So how do you accomplish those two things? By knowing what to do and what to ask. To demonstrate this, sometimes I think it's easier to understand what something is when you know what it isn't. For instance, here's a quick list of things not to do in the discovery call. Go in having no idea of what you want the outcome to be. Or not know what you're looking for in a client. Remember those 3 questions that I covered earlier. Or do not visit about everything under the sun. Try not to come off as being desperate or arrogant. Both are turn-offs. And don't waste time. Be clear and concise in answering questions and giving information. Don't go into a great detail and give them a lecture basically of what coaching is. Keep it simple and short. Another don't is don't try to be all things to all people, because then you end up being nothing to everyone. And for certain, do not make promises that you can't deliver. For example, I guarantee that you will get that raise. Not knowing what you have to offer the client, that's another thing. They are all looking for a reason to start coaching, and having a solid offer can be that reason. The discovery call is not a get to know you. How's your parents? What's your favorite color? What food do you like? You don't have time for that. What matters is you are able to quickly demonstrate what coaching can do for you, for them, and answer any objections that they might have. How? By showing, not telling. And that's where I suggest coach them for 5 minutes. Ask them one question, something like, what one thing are you dreading about tomorrow or next week? Then you need to be on your toes to laser coach, which is something that I can share more about later. Whether you charge for the discovery call or not, though, depends on several things about your practice, your business model, and the client you want to attract. Keep in mind, the purpose of the discovery call is to show the client how he or she will benefit from coaching. And the objective for you is to get them in the door to continue coaching with you. So what should you do in the discovery call? Well, you talk about what coaching can do for them. Educate them on the difference coaching can make in reaching a goal and how it will save you time in the process. Share with them one testimonial or a case study. Find out if there's a match or a fit. The best coaching happens when there's a good fit between you and your client. You can also effectively and concisely answer each objection that they have. Answer their questions. And lastly, you get their commitment to coach with you in the discovery call. As I said earlier, this is where you can move the potential client into having an experience while you are laser coaching him or her. And this is invaluable and can lead to a great coaching relationship. Now, let's talk about what questions to ask during the discovery call. There are several questions that you need to ask during the discovery call, but here are 2 that are really effective. Number 1, what is your most pressing issue at this very moment? And number 2, what are you willing to do to make a change? These 2 questions will help your client shift his or her perspective on what they need coaching on. They will start to entertain something different, and they'll begin to focus on the pain point and the power that they have to do something about it. As you can see, the discovery call is the very important first impression that you get to make and have of your client. It gives you loads of information that is quite valuable for future coaching sessions. But for some reason, this call is often the most overlooked aspect of the coaching process. Without it, you're leaving clients on the table, so to speak. So now you have a few good points on how to approach the discovery call, what to focus on, and the 2 most important questions to ask during the discovery call. Putting into practice what I've just shared with you can make a huge difference in how you start the coaching relationship, gain their trust, and keep them coming back for more coaching. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the discovery call. Please leave a comment or a question below, or go to our Facebook page and share your questions with our entire Influence community. I'll be back tomorrow with my 2nd training video where I will share with you the biggest advantage of and how to use handouts during the coaching process. Until next time, influence it.